Hi guys, welcome back to the Mighty Blues and welcome back to the game review for Burnley 1, Everton 5. Everton with an absolutely fantastic away victory just after Christmas. I said it on my instant match reaction, I don't know what's been going on in December. We've had some really poor results, some really shocking performances, but today the lads were absolutely fantastic. An absolute masterclass by Marco Silva. I don't know whether the lads have been struggling with a little bit of stress because they've had to, get the Christmas shopping done, make sure all the kids' presents are wrapped, get the decorations up, make sure the turkey's prepped for the oven. But today, Christmas is done, Christmas is over. That's all done with for another year, and the lads have thought, woof, that's gone, let's go in there and put a fantastic performance in, and that is exactly what they did today. We'll be talking about the game in today's video, we'll be talking about the key player and key moments as well. Let me just tweet the stream out so that everybody over on Twitter knows that we are streaming and that they can come and join in. My instant match reactions got over 100 views within an hour, so thank you very much for the support on that as well. Absolutely over the moon. Like I said, we've had some poor results in December, but the lads have come back and they've put in an absolutely quality performance today at Burnley. 22 minutes in and we're 3-0 up. What can you say? It literally must have just been the Christmas period that was stressing them out. Now, I just want to say before we go into this, I'm not going to sit here and say everything's alright now, well, let's forget about all them results. Let's forget about the results because they were poor, the ones against Newcastle, Watford, Liverpool, City, but I'm not going to say, everything's back to being normal now, we're okay, because what we need to understand is that we are only 5 months into Marco Silva's reign, and I think all of the people saying, he should go and he's not the right man and he's not good enough and his tactics are poor in the last couple of weeks, I think they'll have just been silenced today. Look, Marco Silva isn't going to get everything right in his first season. He's still got a lot to learn. We still have a lot to learn. A lot of the players are new to this league, are new to this team. They have a lot to learn as well. Today, showing what we can do away from home against teams that aren't as good as us and how dominant we can be. The last couple of weeks have shown that what it can be like if we are a little bit sloppy and he doesn't get the tactics right. For example, the Spurs game. Shabba says 3 down, 6 to go. Exactly. We've got that all-important win. That's what we needed. We needed the 3 points. Look, in the whole of December, the derby was on the 3rd or something like that. Ever since then, we've been performing poorly and we've been struggling to get results. 2 points at home to Newcastle and Watford isn't good enough. The results against Spurs, the results against Manchester City, not good enough. And today we really needed a massive win. I wasn't confident going into this game because I thought, look, Burnley, they need a win as well. It's Boxing Day at home. They're going to be confident. The fans are going to be up for it. And I really wasn't confident. I thought Bernard was absolutely fantastic. Literally a minute in and we're 1-0 up. Yerry Mina with a fantastic header. Like I said, then 22 minutes in, 3-0 up. Lucas Digne today, I've put it as the title of the stream. Lucas Digne, an absolute masterclass today. What a player he is. What a fullback he is. I had a Spurs fan in the comments section of the last video saying he thinks that we should replace Lucas Digne because he's not good enough. Now, that's an opinion, and that's fair enough. And, I welcome all opinions here on the Mighty Blues, but I think you'll be looking at that performance today thinking, okay, maybe I judged it a little bit wrongly because Lucas Digne was fantastic today. Another absolutely cracking free kick. Joe Hart probably should do better, to be honest, but, what can you say? It's a quality free kick. Calvert Sigurdsson scored in the 3rd, obviously a penalty. I wasn't confident when he stepped up either because of his recent form in the penalty area when taking penalties, but he slotted it well, and we're 3-0 up and we're going well, and we'll talk about the rest of the goals as well. Sam says hi, and Everton, certainly hi to you as well. I hope everybody had a fantastic Christmas, by the way. I did put a little Christmas message out yesterday, so I hope you enjoyed watching that, and I hope you all had a fantastic Christmas with your family. I hope you're all got some nice presents and had some good food. Like I was saying before, I got some fantastic presents for Christmas. Sitting there yesterday morning, opening up my new bedding, opening up my new socks. I really do feel old, to be honest. I've always said, never let it get to the point where I'm absolutely made up with underwear and socks, but I was yesterday. I was absolutely made up with them. I got slippers, got a dressing gown, I got a new nice comfy quilt. But today I was thinking, what would top my Christmas off today would be an Everton win. I forgot about the massive win destroying the team. We've spoken about it in the last couple of weeks, spoken about it previously, how Everton are gonna demolish a team at some point. You know, and we spoke about it just before the derby, just before the running of games we've had, and now I thought, you know what, I'm not even going to mention it, because all as I want is a 3 points. As long as we get them 3 points, that is all that matters. And today we got the 3 points and we destroyed the team, and it's put the cherry on my Christmas. It really has. You know, like I said, I opened some fantastic presents yesterday, but there was nothing more surprising for me and nothing more, you know, just uplifting than that one today. I thought it was an absolutely fantastic performance and an absolutely fantastic win. Sam says, I support them. I go to all the home games. I do too, mate. Thank you very much. You also said I've got FIFA 19. I do. There's a couple of episodes of a career on FIFA 19 on the channel. I still need to figure out how to get that back up and running, you know, to get that back. But Ralph says, lad, what sort of money do you think Digne is worth? To be honest, today, priceless. I thought he was absolutely fantastic today. I thought he really does look like a young Leighton Baines, and I'm not just saying that because Baines is an Everton legend and, you know, he's a left back, but I mean going forward, his ability to hit a ball from 25 yards when it's on the move. The goal that Lucas Digne scored today, his second goal, the one from about 25 yards, I've seen Leighton Baines score that about 3 or 4 times in his Everton career. That literally a mirror image of that goal. And the free kick, we all know what Leighton Baines can do with free kicks as well. Absolutely fantastic by Lucas Digne today. And I think, again, Seamus Coleman played well today as well. I think, you know, in the last couple of games I've been very critical of Seamus Coleman. I think he hasn't been as good as he probably should be, but I thought today he played well. And you know what I took out of today's game more than probably anything, look, you know, you're sitting there and you're watching it and we're 5-1 up, we're beating Burnley away from home and you're thinking this is fantastic, but what I took today more than anything is that Marco Silva got it right today. He really did. He got the tactics spot on. There was a couple of people humming and hawing when we seen the team news, you know, it come out that we were playing 3 at the back, that we were playing Digne and Coleman as wing back. Some people were saying, will it work, will it not work? And I said, when I seen the team, I said, this is going to be an attacking team, because the 3 centre-backs, you've got Mina, Zuma and Keane, are going to allow Andre Gomez and Gylfi Sigurdsson in the midfield to push forward and allow them to play that more of an attacking role and pass it to Bernard, who I was happy was back in the team, because I think he's been okay recently. I don't think he's been poor. And, you know, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who deserved another chance, and Theo Walcott as well. And that's exactly what happened. You look at the formation when the team sheet was released and you think, looking at that, you know, Lucas Digne and Seamus Coleman are playing as attacking players there, and that's exactly what happened. Digne getting on the score sheet twice, Gylfi Sigurdsson playing very, very well. I thought he had his best game in his last couple of games. Andre Gomez, again, what a fantastic footballer. And one player I want to specifically mention is Bernard. I haven't put him as my key player. I've put Lucas Digne as the key player, but Bernard today I thought was fantastic. I thought it was his best performance since the Leicester game, and I thought it was probably his most reminiscent performance of the Leicester game. I think he played quite similarly to what he did against Leicester, obviously getting the cross in for Yerry Mina's header, the first goal. An absolutely fantastic header, by the way, and a fantastic cross. He picks him out, he sees him that he's unmarked, and he picks him out. And, you know, all the way through the game until he got taken off, I thought Bernard was quality. He was involved in the second goal as well, you know, picking the ball up in the midfield, a nice cut-in pass to Calvert-Lewin, who's fouled, and then Digne converts the free kick. But I thought Bernard was absolutely quality today. Like I said, again, away from home, he's getting at teams, he's attacking teams, he's proven that he can be a nightmare for the opposition, and he will run at you, and he will cause you problems, and he'll get in the box. Even he had an opportunity himself when he got in the box, and he could have squared it to Calvert-Lewin, probably should have, but he chose to shoot instead, and one of their defenders ended up getting a nice little block on it. But I thought Bernard was absolutely stunning today as well. Your boy says Digne showed how good he is today. Yeah, exactly, he did. He showed us that, you know, he is an absolutely quality left back, and what a signing he is. You know, we look at the transfer window and you look at Richarlison, who again bagged today coming off the bench. Richarlison was I wouldn't say dropped. I'm not going to say dropped. Richarlison was rested today. You know, we play a lot of games in such a short period of time, so he was taking out the team today probably to give him a little bit of a rest. Come off the bench, scored. Yerry Mina obviously scoring. Andre Gomez, fantastic. Kurt Zuma, so defensively strong. What a player he has been. Bernard, like I said, one of my contenders for man of the match. But for me, Lucas Digne is slowly proven to be the best signing that we made in the summer. He's an absolutely fantastic left back, and he is what we needed. You know, how many times were we sitting last season saying Leighton Baines he's not there, you know, anymore. He's declining fast, and it is sad to see. And I think we're in a similar situation with Seamus Coleman now. But, you know, how many times we sitting last season thinking, you know, Baines can't keep playing like this because he's not good enough, and we've brought a player in who can directly replace Baines, who is as good as Baines was when he was in his prime, and it's absolutely fantastic to see. Sam says, see, you got to go watch them videos. Yeah. Go and watch the FIFA 19 videos. I'd like to say they were okay. Anyway, Shabba says 9 points out of 9. Can we do it? I think that's what we need, to be honest. I think that's exactly what we need, you know, not just to get our confidence back up, not just to get a win and run back up, but I think the points that we've dropped in recent weeks in the Premier League mean that we do need to take 9 points out of the next 3 games. You know, we've got Brighton next on Saturday, I think it is, or Sunday. I think it's Saturday, and then we've got Leicester on New Year's Day. Leicester at home, of course, Brighton away. So we need to take 9 points out of them 3 games. We really do, because look, the points that we dropped against Newcastle, the points that we dropped against Watford were unacceptable. They really were. The City game, the Tottenham game, you know, you take them with a pinch of salt, because City are a fantastic footballing team, as a Tottenham. But the points that we dropped against Newcastle and Watford, we need to make them up. So for me, nothing other than 9 points out of the next 9, well, 6 out of the next 6 now is acceptable. And if we play like we did today, then we can absolutely get them. And you know, like I said, Leicester, I said it in the instant match reaction, Leicester have beaten Manchester City today, so that will be a tough game on New Year's Day. But we've turned over Burnley away from home after having, you know, a run of poor results, and after having you know, the last couple of games not go our way, you know, being turned over at home to Spurs. An embarrassing performance is what I labelled it, and it was. Today we embarrassed Burnley, and it's fantastic to see that we're bouncing back in such a way. Ian says, Yerry Christmas one and all. I like what you've done there, Yerry Christmas indeed. What a goal by him. I thought Yerry Mina was fantastic as well today. I thought you know what, I don't want to say this because it'll make me sound like the biggest hypocrite on the planet, because I always go on about how referees are really poor and how, you know, we never get decisions. But I think Yerry Mina played the referee perfectly today. He knew what he was doing. He knew how to throw his body in. He knew what to do and not concede the penalty or not concede the foul. And he won us a load of free kicks. And defensively, he was quality. And obviously, he got his first goal in an Everton shirt and done his little Colombian dance, which was absolutely fantastic. Sam says, drop a sub. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you very much for that. Chabba says, 3 at the back certainly worked today. It did. And like I said, when the team sheet come out, you know, a lot of people were sitting there thinking, will 3 at the back work? We've only seen it once this season against Manchester City. And that was an absolute, you know, absolute disaster. What a poor performance that was, what a poor result that was, but it did today. It worked fantastically. You know, you only have to look at Lucas Digne being on the score sheet twice today. You only have to look at the freedom that Andre Gomez and Gylfi Sigurdsson played with, and the fact that, you know, the 3 defenders stuck. You know, don't get me wrong, the goal is, I think it's defensively poor. I really do. I think they all stop once they believe the ball's gone over the line from the header. But I think other than that, I think we were absolutely fantastic defensively today, and it certainly did work. Wally says, sack Sean, he is gone, he has lost his dressing room. I assume that you are a Burnley fan. Interesting you should say that. Burnley have been on a poor run of form recently. It'd be interesting to see what Burnley fans are saying about Sean Dyche. Obviously, he's been there a long time. He's actually promoted twice, I think, and you know, you had that fantastic season in the Premier League last season. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Ralph says, Bernard, best performance in our shirt, I think, and just needs to keep his head when he gets goal scoring chance. Sometimes his head can fall off. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think Bernard's performance today was probably his best in an Everton shirt. I thought he was absolutely fantastic. Again, he's terrorising teams, and whenever he got the ball today, you could see the Burnley defence, the Burnley midfield were worried. They were worried about what he could do, and you're right, he just needs to add that goal scoring threat to his game. He needs to be a little bit more composed in the box, because he probably does get in the box with the ball and panic a little bit. Like I said, the opportunity he had today, probably could have squared it to Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but he doesn't. He opts to shoot, and maybe he makes that decision a little bit too late because the defender comes. But I think once he's got that, and once he's got that attacking, being able to score, being able to get goals, and being able to get shots on target, I think he'll be an absolutely quality player, because he was quality once again today. Sam says, top performance today, lads. Yeah, absolutely quality performance. Your boy says, how do you think Dom played today? For me, I think he was fantastic. I do. I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin has been a breath of fresh air since he's been involved in the team. Look, I think Richarlison's been doing well as a striker. He proved again he'd come on today, and you know, he got the goal. But for me, Dominic Calvert-Lewin's been a breath of fresh air since he's been brought in. He was fantastic against Spurs. I think, you know, he should have had a goal, of course. He was fantastic against who did we play prior to Spurs? I can't even remember now. City, fantastic against City, got the headed goal, of course. And I think today, again, even though we didn't get a goal, he causes a threat. He causes an attacking threat, because he's physical, he's jumping up for every header, he's winning balls in the air, he's got a good touch, and he's got the pace as well. I think what Dominic Calvert-Lewin is he's a nuisance to he's a nuisance to defenders, he's a nuisance to other teams, and that's something he offers you that maybe Richarlison doesn't sometimes. Richarlison can fade out of a game, and you know, we've seen what Richarlison can do. He done it today, come on, and he scored a fantastic goal. But I think Richarlison can fade out of games if, you know, he plays from the start. And there's a lot of times I've been watching Richarlison in the second half, and I thought, you know what, you're not involved enough, whereas Dominic Calvert-Lewin is always involved, whether he's scoring goals, whether he's getting in the mix, whether he's providing an aerial threat. He is, and I thought he was fantastic again today, and this is what Dom needs. Like I said it with Ademola Lookman, I've said it with Calvert-Lewin. They need a run of games in the team. They need to be given a chance. A chance isn't one game, a chance isn't one opportunity, it's a run of games. You know, Lookman only got one opportunity against Newcastle. Yes, he probably didn't take it, but he needs another run of games. Look, I think he's out injured at the moment, so I assume that when he's back fit, he will get that run, but that's what Dominic Calvert-Lewin's getting at the minute. He's getting a nice run of games. Hopefully he gets 5 to 10, and we'll see what he can do at the end of it, but I think he's been a breath of fresh air for this team, and he's been fantastic. That guy says, fucking hell, what a win. 100%, mate. Absolutely spot on. Daniel says, love the channel, bro. Up the toffees from Germany. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. From Germany as well. Made up, absolutely made up. Big win for the Toffees today. Thank you very much. And that guy says, very impressed with DCL today. Yeah, like I said, a breath of fresh air for this squad. I think DCL has been absolutely fantastic in the last 3 games. In the games that he's had his opportunities, he's been brilliant, and that's obviously being rewarded with more and more starts and more responsibility by Marco Silva. I think he was probably taken off at the right time today. You know, Richarlison come on, and you know, that's what we needed. We needed somebody like Richarlison to come on against tired legs. We needed him to come on and get that impact and get that goal, and he did. And that's what Richarlison will give you. He will give you running, he will give you skill, he will give you pace on the attack against teams that are maybe tiring, or against teams that aren't expecting it from the off. I think Richarlison can go missing in the middle of games and towards the end of games when starting, but you know, I was calling for the Richarlison substitution today because I thought he will absolutely tear these to bits. And again, he come on within the first 5 minutes of being on, he creates a chance which is very unlucky, and that it didn't go in, and then he got his goal as well, so fantastic. Matthew says, would you play this formation against Brighton and Leicester? It's an interesting question, because I think the 3 at the back works in certain games. Obviously it didn't work against Manchester City, and that's quite apparent as to why, because they attack, and you don't set up with a 3 at the back to play a team like Manchester City away from home. It worked today, and it worked today by allowing Seamus Coleman and Lucas Digne to push on, and it really did. I would probably try it again, maybe against Brighton. Look, if you're winning 5-1 away from home with a 3 at the back, and you know, your left back, who's playing a little bit more of a forward role, is scoring 2 goals, then why not try it again? Ralph says, I think Lookman has had an attitude problem, mate. I don't disagree. I think he has in the past had an attitude problem. I don't know whether that's what's going on at the minute. I've seen some rumours saying that he is injured at the minute. I don't know whether he's fallen out with Marco Silva. We'll have to read into that, and Ralph says I might be wrong, just my opinion. I think he's definitely had an attitude problem, certainly at the start of the season when he was putting up stuff about Leipzig on his Instagram stories, and you know, he was trying to force a move, some would say, but I think of late he's been quite you know, sensible. He's got his head down and he's been performing well. I think it probably is just a minor injury at the minute, but hopefully he'll come back stronger than ever, and we'll be able to see him have a good run of games in the team. So yeah, anyway, what a performance today. Like I said, first 3 goals, you know, you're sitting there 22 minutes in and you're thinking, wow, is this really going to be like this? Is this really going to go, like, you know, are we going to just absolutely blow past the team away from home? And, you know, some would say that, you know, even though we scored 3 goals, we didn't have a fantastic opportunity. You know, Yerry Mina's header was a good goal, but he was left unmarked. The free kick was just a fantastic bit of play by Lucas Digne, and the penalty was a penalty. Let's be honest, it was a handball. Then come, obviously, the Burnley goal. A corner comes in. I think it was a header. I'm not too sure who it was, but the ball's cleared off the line. It doesn't go in. It's not over the line. I think the Everton players stop because the crowd's up and the crowd's screaming to say it might go in. They stop, and then, you know, it's quite an easy finish for... Who was it? Who scored? Someone help me out in the live chat. Who scored the Burnley goal? I had his name in my head there, and it's just gone out me. But anyway, it's an easy finish for Burnley because, you know, I think all of our defenders stop, and that is the lapse of concentration that I've been talking about in the last couple of weeks. That is what we need to sort of figure out, and we need to get over is just stopping in the box and just thinking, well, has the ball gone in? Is that a foul? Is that a penalty? Are you going to blow up, referee? And just like the old school saying that you teach your kids when you're playing Sunday league football at the age of 4, 5, 6, play to the whistle. And that's what these lads really need to be drilled into them week after week. Play to the whistle. Don't just stop. Don't assume that the referee's going to give a foul. Don't assume that the ball's gone out of play. Play to the whistle. And if you've got to speak to the referee and you want to have a little moan that a certain foul is being committed, then hit the ball straight up the other end and see it out, and then, you know, go and confer the decision. But I think that's what that was today for me. I think the players all stopped expecting the decision to be made over the header that was cleared off the line, and then it's a pretty easy finish for Burnley. And at that point, I think a lot of Everton fans got it spot on Twitter. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Adam Partington. I think I've got that right, from the Grand Old Team YouTube channel. Said, you know, the fact that we're sitting here now 3-1 up against Burnley away from home, comfortably 3-1 up, 3 goals in the first 20 minutes, and we're now worrying that, you know, we mightn't win this game after they've scored, and that this game might be turned around on its head. It just shows how poorly we've been playing recently, and I think that was spot on. Me, I don't know whether you felt it. Some people might have been confident. There was also a couple of people on Twitter saying we'll definitely win this game, but for me, when we conceded that goal, I was sitting there thinking, you know what, if we concede another one here, we're in trouble. You know, this could go either way. If they get a second there and it becomes 3-2, our heads could really, really drop. And I haven't seen our heads drop pretty drastically in the last couple of weeks. And I mean, you know, going from being 1-0 up against Spurs to having a goal wrongly disallowed in Calvert-Lewin's header, and then literally our heads just going. I described it in work. I described it to one of my bosses. He said, what happened? And I said, you know what's happening with Everton recently is that we'll start a game well, and then somebody will just randomly, not literally, but will come out and go, boo, and we'll all just go, ah. And then that's it, deflated, flat, and then we go on and concede 6 like we did against Spurs. But today we didn't allow that. We didn't allow our heads to drop. I think Marco Silva went in at half-time. He gave a stern team talk to the lads, and he said, look, don't let this drop, keep on pushing for another goal. And that's what we done throughout the whole game. We pushed and we pushed and we pushed. 3-0 up, we were pushing for a 4th, 3-1 up, we were pushing, and we continued to push until the last minute when we scored the 5th. And I think that's absolutely fantastic, and that shows just how good of a manager Marco Silva is, and just how attacking minded he is. You know, a lot of managers that have, you know, scored the 3 goals, conceded the 1, and then said, right, let's bring Jagielka Baines on, go the bloody 7 at the back, and just try and, you know, hold out for the 3-1 win. Marco Silva didn't. He said, look, we've conceded now, let's go and get another 2, and that's exactly what we did. You know, we went on to win 5-1. I will talk about Lucas Digne's goal in just a minute, what an absolute fantastic strike that is. But I think that's testament of Marco Silva's managerial tactics today, and like I said, I think he got it absolutely spot on today. It went 3-1, and maybe some of the players, maybe some of the fans were sitting there thinking, Jesus Christ, is this going to happen to Everton? This would be an Everton that. It would be a perfect Everton Christmas for us to be winning 3-0 in 22 minutes and then lose that game and Burnley come back into it. But he didn't. He said to the lads, listen, keep attacking, keep going for that goal. And that's what got us over the line, is the fact that we did keep attacking Burnley, and we didn't allow them space on the ball, and we didn't sit behind the ball and say, you know what, you come at us. We constantly were going forward, we were bringing the ball forward, and we were having shots on target, and we were pressuring them, and we just were too good for them today. We were absolutely fantastic. Like I said, the Lucas Digne second goal is an unbelievable strike. It's absolutely unreal. The lad's fantastic. The lad is absolutely fantastic. What a player we have got. I think we signed him for about 20-30 odd million pound, and you know what an absolute gem he is. What a player. But yeah, like I said, I think the Marco Silva tactically today got it really, really right when he got it really wrong against Spurs tactically. And you know, he didn't make a substitution until we were bloody 5-2 down or 6-2 down or whatever. That's when he brought Bernard on. I thought today his substitutions were fantastic. He was bringing players off, precautionary, you know, bringing Andre Gomez off, who had a fantastic game, you know, just to give him a little bit of a rest. He's been struggling with a slight injury this week. Bringing Idrissa Gana Gueye on to, you know, get him back into play, and he's been out for a couple of weeks injured. You know, perfect game to bring him off the bench, to get him used to playing again, you know, when we've comfortably won the game and he just needs to sort of walk around and do a little bit. Bernard as well, absolutely fantastic, bringing him off, bringing Richarlison on to you know, add a little bit more pace, add a little bit more of an attacking threat. And I thought Marco Silva's tactics, like I said today, were absolutely spot on, and what a win it was by the Blues. So we'll go over to the live comments. Where are we up to? Matthew says, best performance from Coleman I've seen since Leicester at home last season. I agree. I thought Coleman had a fantastic game today. I thought he was much better than he has been in recent weeks. Whether that's the 5 at the back formation, I'm not too sure. But like I said, you can't sit there now and say, okay, do we change now from a 5 at the back, when if you've got a 5 at the back and it's attacking, and you've got the likes of Gylfi Sigurdsson and Andre Gomez that will push on, and you've got your left back scoring 2 goals, and you've got your right back having you know, his best game in bloody months and months and months, then you'd have to look at it and think, okay, that worked. You know, you've got 3 centre-halves who were fantastic today. Michael Keane coming back with a big performance. He needed that after a poor performance against Spurs. Yerry Mina coming back into the team after being benched, of course, after the poor performance against Manchester City, getting a goal in the first minute and then being defensively strong for the rest of the game. Kurt Zouma, fantastic again. I think we do seriously have to look at playing that formation again, especially if we're away from home against a team like Brighton that will come and that will try and attack us and that will try and, you know, hit us on the break and get the better of us. Daniel says, I love Digne, what a replacement for Baines. Didn't think he performed that good when we signed him. Yeah, 100%. What a player, what an absolutely fantastic footballer, and he is the perfect replacement for Baines. And he's the perfect replacement for Baines because he's, well, first of all, he's won everything in every single country there is in the planet. He's got the experience there, but not just that, he plays exactly like a prime Leighton Baines does. Like I said earlier on in the stream, I've seen that Lucas Digne goal, the second goal, I've seen that scored 4 or 5 times by Leighton Baines in an Everton shirt throughout his career. I really have. That getting the ball on the edge of the box 25 yards away and just smashing it with his left foot into the corner, I've seen that by Baines, and it's an absolutely fantastic finish. His free kick as well, that's 2 free kicks now he scored in a matter of 4 games. You know, his first 2 goals for Everton, free kicks. Joe Hart probably should do better. It is probably a little bit of poor goalkeeping, but either way, it's in the corner and it's good enough to beat him. Beat you know, a former England #1. It was absolutely fantastic free kick. And Harry says we got to build on this result. We certainly do. Like I said, I'm not getting too made up about it. You might think I am. Listen, we've just went out and won 5-1 away from home on Boxing Day against a team that, you know, we're desperately in need of a win. We've soaked up the pressure that they put on us because they didn't sit back. Let's be honest, Burnley didn't sit back and say, you know what, we're just going to get rolled over by you today. They did. They had a couple of good chances. I think Tarkowski, it is, the centre-half, put one over the bar. When it was 3-1, could have brought it back to 3-2. That would have pressured us a lot. Obviously, they got the goal. They had a couple of really, really good chances and they didn't sit back. And even then, when they were 4-1 down and when we were pushing, they were carrying on pushing as well. So we soaked up the pressure brilliantly. But like you've said there, Harry, absolutely spot on. We need to build on this. I answered, I think it was Shabba's question before, saying surely it's 6 points out of the next 2 games now. And it is, and it has to be. Like I said, you know, over this Christmas period, over December, we've been poor. We've had some poor performances against Newcastle and Watford. We've had some shocking results against City and Tottenham. Obviously, the derby, Marco Silva ruled out. Marco Silva said that he's refusing to blame the derby loss on the poor results recently, and I was as well. I said it in the preview to this game. I said, listen, okay, you might think the Newcastle game was a little bit of a hangover from the derby, maybe even the Watford game, but I'm not sitting here and saying that, you know, being beat by Tottenham 6-1 at home 3 weeks after being beaten by Liverpool is still the derby hangover, because it's nonsense. It's not. It was just a, you know, a really poor performance and a game where we made so many mistakes and Tottenham capitalised on it. But today he got it right today, and like I said, we need this to carry on now. We need to go out and do exactly the same against Brighton. We need to go out and do the same against Leicester. I'm not saying the same formation, I'm not saying the same team will work in the same way, because I think Burnley are significantly not as good. I'm trying to say this in the nicest way, significantly worse than Brighton this season. I think they aren't performing as well as Brighton. You know, they're struggling certainly at the minute, and obviously Leicester, you know, they've had a couple of brilliant results, beating Chelsea, beating Manchester City today as well. So, you know, Marco Silva may have to mix it up a little bit. I dare say he'd mix it up anyway, even if we were playing, you know, 3 of the worst teams in the Premier League in the next couple of weeks, because of the fact that we're playing you know, such a large amount of games in such a short period of time, because of the fact that players will get tired, players will start to pick up little niggly injuries because of all the football they're playing. I think the commentator said today that we play 3 games in 220 hours or something like that, which is madness when you think about it. You know, like we said, Richarlison didn't start today. He was kept out the team because I dare say he's going to be rested for the weekend. Bernard come back in after being rested and was absolutely fantastic. You know, we played 3 centre halves. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't play 3 at the back against Brighton, sorry, because I wouldn't be surprised if Marco Silva changed it up again, because of the fact that, you know, Yerry Mina might be needing a break, or maybe not Mina because he's only just come back in. Kurt Zouma might say, okay, can I come out for for a game because I'm a little bit tired. Michael Keane, who knows? I dare say that the formation again will be changed, and that's what we have to take into consideration when we see the team sheet at the weekend against Brighton. And maybe it's not a 5 at the back, maybe Bernard is taken out, Richarlison comes back in, maybe Calvert-Lewin's taken out. It's important that we don't turn on Silva and say, what, how can you change a winning team? You know, look at the performance against Burnley, look at the result, how can you change that? You're setting yourself up for failure, because what's important to realise is that we have got a lot of games in such a short period of time, and that win today, that formation today, Marco Silva will be keeping in his mind, and he'll be thinking, okay, look how we turned Burnley over today, look how well Bernard played away from home, look how well the three centre-halves played together, look how well Digne and Coleman played when they were pushed a little bit forward. I'll keep that in mind for after this Christmas period, after this run of you know, a large amount of games in such a short period of time. After this is blown over and we're into sort of March, May, just before the end of the season, maybe even February, maybe I'll go with that formation again away from home against one of the big boys and see if it works there, because like I said today, we were absolutely fantastic, and there's no reason why Marco Silva shouldn't go with the same 11, with the same formation today, other than the fact that the players will be tired and the lads will need a rest, because we play a lot, you know, we play a lot of games in such a short period of time, and that's only fair. Like I said, Richarlison will probably come in at the weekend, and I don't think anybody would complain. He come off the bench today and he got a goal, but again, he wasn't dropped, he was taken out for me because he needed the rest. Bernard may even come out, Bernard may stay in there, Walcott might come out, Calvert-Lewin might come out, who knows. But for me today, Bernard was fantastic. Richarlison coming on, getting his goal, obviously brilliant from him. Yerry Mina was fantastic, Lucas Digne was fantastic. I think every single player in Everton shirt went from 0 to hero today. 0 being in the Tottenham game when I think they were all really poor. Actually, if you've seen Ped from Toffee TV, his player ratings at the end of the Tottenham game, every single player got a minus rating from him. I think every single player today will be getting 8 upwards, because they went from a really, really poor performance collectively to an absolutely fantastic performance collectively. And like I said, we've just, okay, Burnley on in the best of form, and maybe they aren't the best team in the league, but nevertheless, we still managed to turn them round and, you know, to get the 3 points today. And that was, like I said, that was what was needed today more than anything. You know, the 5-1 was nice, a 3-1 had been nice, a 1-0 had been nice. What we needed was the 3 points over anything, whether it was an absolutely amazing performance where we destroyed Burnley like it was, or whether it come off Niassi's arse in the last minute to get us a scrappy 1-0. What we needed was the 3 points. Don't get me wrong, the 5-1 will install more confidence into the team than a scrappy 1-0 win off Niassi's arse would, but you know, we needed that 3 points nevertheless. And like Shabba said earlier on in the stream, we need, and like Harry said as well, we need to now go on and carry on this form. We need to beat Brighton, we need to beat Leicester, and we need to carry this on into the new year and have a strong second half of the season. We've had our dip in form now, okay, you know, we had the poor result against Liverpool, we've played some tough games in City and Tottenham, we've had that now, we've come out of that with a fantastic performance today. We now need to build on that, and we now need to, you know, go on and carry on getting results and carry on winning games, because if we go to Brighton on the weekend and get beat 3-1 or get turned over, this result becomes irrelevant, because we're still in the same boat as, okay, are we still in a poor run of form, and that result against Burnley was just a one-off because Burnley are really poor. So we need to build on this, and we need to carry on, you know, getting the 3 points. And if we can go away to Brighton and do exactly the same as we've done today, fantastic. If we have to go to Brighton and it come off Niassi's arse in the last minute and us win a scrappy, you know, 1-0, then great. We just need the 3 points, and that's what's, you know, important for me. Shabba says, I must admit, I didn't think it was going to be 4-3. Yeah, like I said, when their goal went in, I just thought, you know what, don't do an Everton. Really, don't do an Everton. I thought, you know what, this would be the bow on the Everton Christmas present of December. A derby loss, you know, a destructive defeat to Spurs, performance against Manchester City that we gifted them goals, poor performance against Newcastle, which we probably should have, you know, they could have won in the last minute, a scrappy draw against Watford, which, you know, we only managed to scrape in the last minute. The bow on that, you know, imaginary mythical Everton Christmas present to all of us would have been Burnley to turn us over and score 4 goals and beat us, but it never happened. We got the hammer, we destroyed that present, we binned it, and we said, up the effing Blues, Marco Silva's boys are back, let's go on now and let's get another 3 points on the weekend and build on this, because that's what we need to do, really. Shabba again says, yeah, Marco did say that we need a big squad over the Xmas period, which is manager speak for rotation. Exactly, like I said, don't be surprised if the Brighton game we don't see the same formation, we don't see the same players. Don't be surprised if Calvert-Lewin comes out and people might say, but Calvert-Lewin was fantastic against Burnley. He was, but the lad's played 3 games now, and he probably will play again against Leicester at home, because he offers us something at home that I don't think any of our other strikers don't. Cenk Tosun wasn't even in the squad today. Again, whether that's a rotational thing, whether that's an injury thing, whether, you know, He's being told to stay at home. I know he's got a newborn baby. He might have been told by Marco Silva, look, stay out of this one, stay at home, spend some time with your family. Who knows? But like you've said there, Shabba, it's really important that we understand that squad rotation is going to be needed over these next couple of weeks. It's going to be needed for the Brighton game. It's going to be needed for the Leicester game. And you know, that's what we need to realise. We mightn't see the same 11. We might. And if we do, fantastic. If we see the exact same 11 and we go out and we beat Brighton 5-1, absolutely fantastic. But we probably will see some changes, and I'll be keeping that in mind when I do the game preview to that on Friday. That will probably be live streamed as well, so make sure you're around 6:30, 7 o'clock on the channel on Friday for the game preview to that game. Brighton and Hove Albion, away from home. But like I said, that's what we need. We need that squad rotation, and it's going to be brought into play by Marco Silva. But it'll be really interesting to hear Marco's comments at the end of this game, because I think we were absolutely fantastic today. And like I said, Burnley aren't brilliant. They haven't been brilliant this season, and they haven't been brilliant in recent times. You know, we turned over a team that were probably there to be turned over, but it's still a massive win with the results we've had recently, with the performances we've had recently. It's still a massive win to go away from home and win 5-1 against any team in this league is absolutely fantastic. To do it when you're on a bad run of form and when you've had such a deflating loss, literally not even a week ago on Sunday against a Spurs team at home, to come out of that and have the confidence to go and destroy Burnley 5-1, I think it will only do wonders for Everton. And I think, you know, we'll see some big performances, and we need to see some big performances against Brighton and Leicester. And like I said, it doesn't matter unless we're sitting here this time next week saying, you know what, we've got 9 points out of the last 3 games, and that's exactly what we needed. Let's kick on now, and you know, let's hope we can do that. But anyway, that is going to be it for the stream. We've been going for around 35 minutes. Thank you very much to everybody who has joined. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. We are nearly at 150 subs. It'd be absolutely fantastic if we can get there before the new year. Thank you very much for all of your support as well. If you're in the live chat, thank you very much for being around and taking your time to come and watch me ramble about that absolutely fantastic performance. Like I said, I'll be live streaming the game preview to this weekend's game against Brighton and Hove Albion, I think it is. Let me just double check, because I just want to make sure I'm giving you guys the right day. Bear with me just 2 seconds. Where are we? Follow our live blog. View all fixtures. Here we go. Brighton at 3 o'clock on Saturday. We are away from home. So don't forget to join me on Friday for the game preview to that. That'll be live stream, like I said, around 6:30, 7 o'clock on the channel. We'll talk about the squad rotation. We'll talk about this game and how well we played. And we'll talk about the fact that we probably will see some changes. And don't be surprised to see some changes as well. But anyway, that is going to do it for this live stream. If you're watching this as a YouTube video afterwards, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. What did you think about today's game? What did you think about today's performance? Do you think that Dominic Calvert-Lewin played well? Do you think that, you know, Marco Silva should stay with the same formation, even if it means changing the players around for the next couple of games? Let me know your thoughts down there as well. Please like the video if you have enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new and you haven't already. Loads of content going out over the next couple of weeks. We've got some big games, some massively important games, and that all started today, and we needed that win today, and we got it. Marco Silva's Blues with an emphatic victory against Burnley today, 5-1. I don't think any of us really expected it, but we got it, and what a win it was. What a performance by Lucas Digne, my absolutely French wonder man. I'm going to get a big poster of him right there, and his lovely tattoos and his absolutely quality quiff, because what an absolutely fantastic player he is. Shabba says, thanks Cam, go and enjoy the rest of your Christmas. Thank you very much, you too. I hope you have enjoyed your Christmas, and everybody else as well. But that is going to do it from me. Thank you very much for watching. Please do leave a like if you have enjoyed. Like I said, I'll be back on Friday for the game preview to the Brighton and Hove Albion game. Let's hope we can carry on this form and get another big win away from home, because that is what is needed. But that's it from me. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon on the Mighty Blues.